Unfortunately, my partner Bianca wasn't able to help me with this video because she got very sick over the past couple of days. So I hope she gets better, but I will be using some of her answers that she emailed to me in this video. For this week's reading response, we had to read Clay Shirky and Neil Postman as they talk about new journalism. The first question is, many things have changed between the Postman text and Shirky text. Define how news media has changed since Postman's 1980s, and do you think that Postman would be as cynical about the media environment that Shirky describes as he's about his own time period? Well, to answer the first part of that question, the main thing that has changed between Postman's text and Shirky text is that the internet has now become the center and the main source of news information, when in Postman's time it was the newspaper and then television. In Shirky's time, it's now the internet. Now, to answer the second part of that question, I think that Postman would not be as cynical towards Shirky's media environment, because throughout his writing, Postman argues that television has caused news, whether it's serious or not serious, to just be pure entertainment. Postman also said that, and I quote, "Television is altering the meaning of being informed by creating a species of information that creates the illusion of knowing something, but which in fact leads one away from knowing." Postman would not be as cynical towards Shirky's media environment because articles found on the internet don't have the same distractions that Postman described television of having, whether it's annoying music, a bunch of videos and pictures, and even attractive anchors. Postman also argues that in television news, the stories are way too short, and when they're finished, they just move on to the next story, and the viewer just will forget what the last story was even about, and they'll just switch their focus to the news story. Postman would like the fact that internet articles won't just cut you off after the story's over. Internet articles allow the viewer to go back whenever they want and just reread the article over and over and over again. Postman would believe that the internet is informing people in a more efficient, distraction-free way than television and even television-esque newspapers ever could. Question number 2 deals with the New York Times article we had to read and the video game we had to play about the dangerous coal mining in China. Question number 2 asks, would you consider Journey to the End of Coal to be journalism on par with the news article? And also, which piece did you find more successful in communicating information about the situation and why? I consider the video game Journey to the End of Coal to definitely be journalism on par with the New York Times article, because it got the same point across that the New York Times article was trying to make, and what I believe it made a better impact, more of an impact than the New York Times article. Sure, it's not your typical journalistic article, but it still got the point across. Being a visual learner, I found that Journey to the End of Coal relayed the message better to me than the New York Times article did, mainly because it lets you basically become a journalist in China as you try to learn about the mining situation. I felt more emotionally connected to the Journey to the End of Coal because I felt I actually wanted to get more information from the people I was talking to in the game. Like, I would ask them more questions and I would try to figure out what their life is like around these coal mines and how dangerous it can actually be.